abysmal, horrible, horrendous, atrocious, egregious, whatever term you would like to use to describe the Jaguars today, excluding the defense, who held the Texans at 13 points, is fitting. The Jaguars were absolutely horrible today. The Jaguars dropped to 2-3 on the season. And let me first start this video off by just giving props and love to the Houston Texans, man. The Houston Texans have beaten the Jacksonville Jaguars 9 consecutive times now. I was in attendance in the season opener last year in Houston for Trevor Lawrence and, unfortunately, Urban Meyer's NFL debut. And the Jaguars got absolutely pummeled by the Houston Texans, but Houston was a beautiful city. I got nothing but love for the city of Houston. Their fans are extremely respectable, and although they're a division rival, man, I got nothing but the utmost love and respect for Texans fans, man. Probably my favorite fan base in the division, and yeah, I just want to give them their respect. I want to give Lovie Smith his respect and say congratulations on your first win. And I also want to give some respect to Derek Stingley Jr., who got his first career interception this week, and he was the 3rd overall pick in this year's draft, cornerback out of LSU. I made a lot of, scorching hot takes and a lot of, I guess, just unwarranted paws at Derek Stingley Jr. out on Twitter when he got drafted, talking about how he was going to get torched by Trevor Lawrence. I'm a man of my word. I'm a man who can call myself out. I keep receipts. And sure enough, I was wrong about Derek Stingley Jr. versus Trevor Lawrence, at least in their first head-to-head matchup together in the NFL, man. So I just want to give love and praise to Houston Texans fans, the Houston Texans on getting their first win. Derek Stingley Jr., Lovie Smith, and the whole organization, man. I was wrong. I underestimated you guys. And like I said, I'm a man who can admit my wrongs, and I just want to first and foremost say that congratulations, Houston, on getting a win. You guys absolutely outplayed us today. Now let's talk about the Jaguars, and let's talk on offense first and foremost. Going down the list, Trevor Lawrence today was 25 of 47, 286 yards, 0 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, which that last one, I mean, whatever. It's a Hail Mary. I don't really care about that interception. In the rushing department, the Jaguars had 26 total carries on offense for 136 yards. You got 10 by ETN for 71 yards. Trevor Lawrence had 4 rushes for 29, and then James Robinson contributed 10 carries for 27 yards. In the receiving department, Marvin Jones Jr., 7 catches, 104 yards. Evan Ingram, 6 catches, 69 yards. Nice. Travis Etienne, 3 catches for 43 yards, and everybody else was basically a no-show and a no-factor. Defensively, I thought Devin Lloyd had another great game today. 11 total tackles. Rayshawn Jenkins getting involved, 12 tackles. Foyesade Aluakon was definitely a big contributor in today's matchup, 8 tackles. He had 2 for a loss, and he also had that big sack earlier in the game too. And otherwise, the defense, I mean, outside of holding the Houston Texans to 13 points, which was impressive, it seemed like the defense was gassed and no other players really stood out all that much to me defensively. But just looking at this game in its totality for the Jaguars, this is the first game of the season where I said the Jaguars did not look well prepared and they did not look well coached. There was no execution whatsoever from the Jaguars, especially offensively speaking. There was little to no rhythm. And the Jaguars and Doug Peterson, who's an aggressive coach who goes for it consistently on 4th down, the Jaguars were 0 for 3 on 4th down. Not very good there. The 3rd down efficiency, 6 of 14. That's okay if you ask me. And then the Jaguars just overall, they only had 422 yards of total offense, which I guess when you look at it, seems like a good amount, but it didn't feel like it at all. Like I said, there was no chemistry, there was no flow, there was no rhythm to this offense at all. Let me start with quarterback at the helm, though, when I go by these players, and I'm going to talk about Trevor Lawrence specifically, and I won't get too much into it. Let me just say right here on record right now, I've not given up on Trevor Lawrence. I'm far from it. I still am a 110% believer that Trevor Lawrence is still the franchise quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence still has his, quote, young growing pains to still go through. There's a lot of missed opportunities where he's missing wide receivers open, he's overthrowing them, or he's not running the ball on 3rd and 1 at the goal line and he throws an interception to Derek Stingley Jr. There's absolutely times where Trevor Lawrence is still not making the right read and not, being this, quote, franchise and generational quarterback that everyone expects out of him. He's in the first year with a brand new head coach, brand new system, a lot of new players. He has been inconsistent this year, but he's had his moments where he's looked like he's lighting it up, and then he has his moments like today where he's absolutely struggling. But we can't just put all the blame on Trevor Lawrence because look at these receivers consistently dropping passes, and rightfully so. We are going to get onto Trevor Lawrence for his inconsistent play today. But let's not act like these receivers were not dropping passes. Zay Jones had 2 drops. Travis Etienne definitely had 1. He might have had 2 if memory serves me correctly. Evan Ingram drops an easy 1, I think, on 2nd and 5. Christian Kirk, I believe, had a drop earlier, 2 if memory serves correctly. these guys are not helping Trevor Lawrence as well too. You know, Trevor Lawrence, when he's able to step up in the pocket and he does have a clean pocket, I've seen a lot of progression out of him, and I've seen him have the accuracy to make these throws. But that's not always going to be, you know, a perfect situation for a quarterback to always have a clean pocket, to always have good weather conditions to play in, like he did with Philadelphia. So I'm not extremely mad at Trevor Lawrence. Just a porous performance by him. You want to see him bounce back after what was a hugely disappointing game by him in Week 4 at Philadelphia. And the Jaguars are just not playing good football right now. It looks like they really underestimated the Houston Texans, and I did too. So, you know what? At the end of the day, man, like I said, I'm going to give love and praise to the Houston Texans. The Jaguars got to do a much better job being prepared, coming in and just executing whatever game plan Doug Peterson and this coaching staff draws up, because there was nothing really positive to take away from any individual player from today's game. And if your NFL defense can hold another opposing offense to 13 points, you've got to win that game. You didn't even get in the end zone. Jaguars, you got to do better. I'm not sitting here. I'm not going to sit here and overreact. I'm not going to sit here and be yelling and, you know, be completely upset. It's just disappointing, and I completely understand that this is the NFL. It's any given Sunday. The Jaguars understand that they have a long road to go. It's still a long season. The Jaguars have another bite at the apple with a divisional opponent up in Indianapolis next weekend. The Jaguars can possibly go 3-3, go to 2-1 in the division, and then we're looking like we're right back on pace and we're right back on track to possibly go and win the AFC South. But as of right now, now that the Titans have won, the Colts won, and the Houston Texans won this weekend, the Jaguars are the only team in the AFC South to lose. So the Jaguars are now down to third place in the AFC South, and the Jaguars have a long road to go for the remainder of the season. Jaguar fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Texans fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like I said, lastly, I'm not mad. I'm not upset. There's still a lot of football left to be played, and, you know, job's not finished. Season's not over. Job not finished. Let me just leave it like that. And if you guys could, make sure you guys drop me a like on this video. It takes 1 second and it helps me in the channel out tremendously. And if you guys are new here, consider hitting that subscribe bell to stay tuned for more NBA, UCF, and of course, Jaguars content that I do here on YouTube. And make sure y'all go follow me on my socials, especially on Twitter. I'm very active and I'm on there every single day. So make sure y'all go follow me. The link tree will be in the description down below. But thanks again for sticking around throughout this whole video. Brett James, aka BJ. I'm out, y'all. Go Jags, baby. Peace.